What is up, my dudes? We've got the Corporate Esports Association DOTA 2 Spring 2019 tournament going on. Today we've got CapOne, What's in Your Warlock, against Amazon Prime Courier. I know the names are a bit off here. This game is from the preseason, so it's a few weeks old now. I'm just still catching up on the backlog a little bit. So this is also going to be played on an older patch, 7.21c. So the bans may be a little bit different to what you would see these days. Let's hop into the draft. We've got a Lifestealer ban coming out, so from the side of CapOne. Can't go wrong with banning Lifestealer, even in the new patch. He's still a little bit strong. They did nerf the rage cooldown by 2 seconds, but honestly, it still feels pretty good. So we'll still see Lifestealer in the league. And Night Stalker ban coming out of Amazon Prime Courier, a little bit of an odd ban, just because we don't see Night Stalker too much. He's a literal god for half the game, and then pretty useless for the other half. So it can be a little bit rough to play the Night Stalker. Tiny coming out of CapOne, so Tiny was pretty strong in the old patch. I don't think he got changed in any way that I believe. Let's actually have a quick read of the patch notes. But I don't remember Tiny getting changed. Yeah, he didn't get changed, but just generally a pretty strong position for. Same with Nick, so big bans all around. Tiny does require a little bit of finesse to play with the toss back plays, so you definitely need to practice that one a little bit. Maybe Amazon Prime Courier doing some scouting on the enemy teams, knowing that they play a pretty mean Tiny. Bounty Hunter and Leshrac bans coming out. Leshrac was pretty notorious in this patch, got nerfed pretty hard afterwards, but we're gonna see this pre-nerf Leshrac ban, so nice ban coming out. And Bounty Hunter still a little bit ridiculous that Janata does so much damage, and it feels so bad when he steals your gold as well. Lich coming out of CapOne, What's in Your Warlock? It's a pretty good pick overall. Has really fallen off recently though, not really sure why. A Grimstroke coming out of Amazon Prime Courier, probably looking to deny that Lich Grimstroke combo, that's really scary. And a Grimstroke Lion combo coming out of Amazon Prime Courier. The Lion has some nice synergy with the Grimstroke, the double Finger of Death, the double Earth Spike, double Hex, double Mana Drain, all good all around. The only problem is this support duo is really squishy. It was the same problem that people had with this Lich Grimstroke combo, where you had two squishy int supports. This time, Lion offers a little bit more lockdown than the Lich. Lich only has the Sinister Gaze, so a little bit of a better partner to the Grimstroke, I think. However, we normally want to see Lion as position 4. But the Grimstroke, also a pretty prominent position 4 hero. I've tried him playing position 5 a few times, it just doesn't feel very good. Nature's Prophet coming out of CapOne, so they've got a Nature's Prophet spammer on their team. A pretty decent hero all around. We've actually been seeing Nature's Prophet more often than not in the 5 position as in the pro games, but we probably won't see that out of CapOne. It takes a lot of teamwork to coordinate this position 5 Prophet to actually get any impact out of him. So probably gonna see the offlane Prophet. And the Grimstroke and the Lion both don't do that well against Nature's Prophet. Can get bullied in lane pretty hard by the right clicks of Nature's Prophet. The Treants as well, there's not much that he can do against them. 550 health on the Treants, and these supports do not deal a whole lot of damage. So maybe Lion gonna wait for him to get his Ags, get those revenge kills on the Treants from the early game. PA and Ursa coming out. PA has fallen off a little bit. We rarely see her without Mag picked up anymore. And Amazon Prime Courier does have the offlane position still open for the Mag. Ursa coming out of Amazon Prime Courier, so Ursa is a pretty stock standard ban. And gonna cause a lot of trouble for the Grimstroke and Lion. Not much that they can do to defend themselves against the Ursa running at them. Lion can do okay, but will eventually get run down. So a nice ban coming out of Prime Courier. Tide Hunter coming out from CapOne to just prevent the team fight a little bit. A Pugna ban coming out of Amazon Prime. So maybe looking to pick a physical based mid hero. We often see OD banned if they if Pugna, we obviously OD picked if we ban Pugna because Pugna gets hard countered by OD in just the whole game. Centaur Warrunner coming out of Amazon Prime Courier, so the Grimstroke and Centaur is a pretty decent combo. You also get that nice Soulbind double edge combo for a lot of burst damage, but this Ink Spell plus Hoof Stomp is a long duration stun, so a pretty scary lane coming out of Prime Courier already. Although we've seen this Centaur really not do too well in general. He just needs to have a pretty good start and has pretty low armor early on. So we're going to see if he's going to be able to get a good start. The ball's in Capital One's court now. They can pick like a life stealer. Oh, actually they banned life stealer. They can still pick Juggernaut and do pretty well against this Centaur Grimstroke lane. Just Blade Fury out of the Ink Swell. Doesn't have to care about it. So maybe we'll see this Juggernaut picked out. Otherwise, I'd like to see Prime Courier actually block pick the Juggernaut, just like they did with the Grimstroke and the Lich. That'd be pretty cool. So if I was Capital One, I'd probably want to pick Jug right now. They're going to have to pick a carry that can deal with this aggression coming out of the Grimstroke and Centaur. Lich is not going to be able to protect their carry, his carry that much. The Frost Shield is nice, but there's a lot of magic damage coming out. Really struggling with this pick.
Dire team pick.
Jakiro comes out. Interesting. So, so a bit of lane flexibility coming out of Capital One. Not really any hero who's like a dedicated position 4. So this Lich or Jakiro could become the position 4. Nature's Prophet generally can win a lot of lanes solo, so may also see a tri-lane come out. But these two heroes, the Jakiro and the Lich, they're pretty level dependent as supports. So probably going to see dual lanes come out. The Jakiro can put a lot of pressure onto the enemy carrier. Same with Lich. They both put a lot of pressure onto the enemy lane. I believe the slow on Jakiro is worse than the Lich. Than the Lich Frost armor at least. So they could put the Lich against the Centaur or Grimstroke, try and use the Frost Shield to get away from the Ink Swell. I think it works, but I'm not sure what the radiuses are. I haven't really seen that interaction too much myself. So we'll see how the lanes go. Already 3 int heroes coming out from the side of Capital One, so we could see an anti-mage game if Amazon Prime Courier feeling brave. Not much lockdown. The Ice Path pretty hard to land against the anti-mage, and the Sinister Gaze is okay if he gets an Aether Lens as well. He can get it from like behind a tree or something. That'd be pretty cool. But you can also spell shield that off if you're good enough. Although anti-mage would probably struggle a little bit in lane against Nature's Prophet. He does a lot of right-click damage early on. Might see a level 1 Blightstone come out of the Nature's Prophet to put on that extra harass.
Radiant team pick.
Medusa comes out for the side of Prime Courier. Interesting. They're not even on the Radiant side where you get that medium camp next to the lane for Medusa to easily farm. Obviously there is that medium camp closer. It is close to the Dire mid lane as well, but the Radiant one is closest to the lane. You also don't have to walk up a hill, so it's a little bit safer to farm without needing wards as well.
5 seconds remain.
So an interesting pick coming out. Not really sure what the idea behind it is. Not much synergy with the Grimstroke and Lion. The Centaur is nice with the Medusa though. Medusa's a pretty slow hero, but that Stampede will help her escape if she gets in a sticky situation. And right now, what are they going to do against this Centaur? Lich has the Sinister Gaze, but not much afterwards. Only a couple slows. The Ice Path is the only thing that Jakiro has as well. Juggernaut comes out for Capital One. So I like this a lot. I think they need a hero who can really just not have to worry too much about this Grim Centaur Warrunner lane. So pretty nice pickup from Capital One. Gonna see them try and ban a hero that does well against Medusa in the mid lane.
Only 10 seconds.
We have occasionally in the past seen safe lane Medusa, but you really want those levels to get more points in the split arrow early on, and then just go to the jungle and hit creeps for about 20 minutes, and then come out as the 30-minute raid boss that Medusa is.
Radiance ban. Radiant team.
TA coming out of the Medusa. Oh, actually a Broodmother ban coming out of Capital One as well. Actually, we haven't seen Broodmother outside of mid in a really long time. It got nerfed pretty hard when they changed the ancient camps spawns. It's a lot harder to jungle as the... or to like go farm the 2 ancient camps on the side of Radiant as the Dire. So you would take over the enemy side of the map and just like farm the 2 ancient camps non-stop, but you can't really do that anymore. They took out one of the ancient camps, replaced it with a medium camp, so it doesn't give that much gold, and the ancient camp in the Radiant jungle is way further away now. So we haven't seen Broodmother in a really long time. A bit of an odd ban coming out of Capital One.
Dire team are now picking.
Going down to the last second, a Tinker comes out of Capital One, so it's going to be pretty hard for the side of Amazon Prime Courier to deal with right now. They don't have anyone with an inbuilt mobility. There's the Centaur, who may eventually get... So they respond with the Storm Spirit straight away, not afraid to change up the lanes and put the Medusa in the safe lane. She's going to be up against the Nature's Prophet, so we might see an early point in split arrow to try and farm those treants up a little bit more. I like this a lot, actually. So this Tinker is going to struggle a lot in the mid game against Storm Spirit. It's going to do okay until Storm hits level 6. We'll see if Capital One decides to do any rotations to help out the Tinker, get a head start. I think this draft is pretty Prime Courier favored. The Centaur might struggle a little bit, but I think we just want to see level 6 out of him, so they can use that Stampede to run down the Tinker early on before he gets his Blink Dagger, and then later on get the Blink Dagger and maybe try and look for the right angle. We could also see the Ag Scepter come out from the Centaur to help them run over to impassable terrain, help them catch up to the Tinker in case he blinks into the trees. So the Centaur Warrunner, he has the options to kill the Tinker, or at least like catch out the Tinker. So we'll see how this goes. I do think that Prime Courier is a little bit favored in this match. Just with the draft alone, the Storm Spirit can get pretty easy kills on the Lich and the Jakiro. Not much that they can do, especially the Jakiro can't really do anything until he gets Eels. I guess after that happens, it could get pretty rough for the Storm Spirit, but he might have BKB by then, so not too much. Jakiro and Juggernaut Spammer on the side of Capital One, so feeling pretty confident about their hero picks. And let's hop into the game. On the side of Capital One, we've got Pyro Trout on the Jakiro, Strawberry Cheesecake on the Juggernaut, BS on the Nature's Prophet. Actually only gets 1 tree in, unfortunately, so sprouted the wrong trees. Oh, actually he got 2, never mind, he split them up. So nice micro coming out. F and W on the Lich, and Stars on the Tinker. We'll just call him Stars from now on. On the side of Amazon Prime Courier, we got Kid Wonderful on the Storm Spirit, Bear Code on the Medusa, D3 Tro on the Lion, Jerky on the Grimstroke, and One for All Gauntlet on the Centaur. So an early smoke coming out on 4 heroes on the side of Amazon Prime Courier, but I'm not really sure what they want to do with it. Lion does use his smoke to drop an early ward for the Storm Spirit, and it's in a position where it's going to be pretty hard to find as well. I've actually been seeing a lot recently where if your ward can cover this spot, what you do is you walk up to here, and then if the tower hits you at this spot, then you know there's a ward in the mid lane. But this Observer Ward not going to be able to be detected with that method. And not much, we're probably not going to see any aggression come out on these bounty runes. Pretty stable all around. Centaur can just stop here. Lion can just use his Earth Spike, so they're not going to be able to contest it. And it'll be 2 for 2. Nice even start for both teams. Yahoos coming out of the Tinker. Decent block so far. Storm Spirit also misses his block now, and Tinker's gonna get his. So early advantage for the Tinker. The Storm can just run up and drop a Storm Remnant though, so we'll probably see that happen. But yeah, the range creep on top of the hill is pretty scary, but he does have the uphill ward. So a little bit scary to walk up that high ground as the Storm Spirit. Don't know if there's another hero up there. This DOTA, first point in the Mystic Stake, not spamming it out yet. I think I would like to see her spam out the mana snake as much as she can to just try and reduce this Nature's Prophet's mana. He only has one clarity with him, but of course he can also bury more. And it's a pretty deprived last hit game already. Everyone in mid only getting 2 last hits in that first wave. Just missing last hits overall. Only gets the 1-man dual breath. You really want to get 2-man dual breaths because you can only cast 3 before you run out of mana. So you gotta make those count. And he only has 1 clarity with him. And it's gonna be a pretty quiet laning phase. Not much kill potential. Probably this Jug, the closest kill potential. He's gonna go for a spin and he's gonna get the kill. So Jakiro slowing him down with the dual breath and then finishing him off with the Blade Fury. Good stuff by the Jakiro. And getting an early liquid fire onto the tower as well. So already a good start in this lane. Mid lane, pretty even. Storm is a little bit ahead on last hits and denies. So we'll get that level 3 before this Tinker does.
Oh no.
And Tinker getting pretty low. We actually usually see Tinker dominate this matchup pretty hard early on. The laser with that 100% miss chance is pretty obnoxious. He gets a double damage as well, so we'll see if he's able to get any damage on the Storm Spirit. But there's this ward here that's doing a lot of work for the Storm Spirit. Tinker not going to be able to get close and deal any damage to the Storm. Not much happening at top, just a farm fest. DOTA and Jug, equal last hits, but Jug has a kill to his name. Got that first blood as well. And Centaur already got his full build mapped out. A Bracer, which we don't really see that often. We've been seeing the hood into Blink usually on the Centaur, but the hood probably not going to be that useful in this game. Wants to go for an early Crimson Guard to help block the Omni Slash damage, so that'll be pretty good for his team. Lion's in a lot of trouble. He's taking a lot of last hits. It will end up going down to the Frost Blast from the Lich. So a bit of mispositioning there. And Jakiro gets a kill onto the Centaur. The Centaur goes down again. He can TP in though, so not having to do the work of shame. He TP's right on top of them, but nothing to be afraid of. He manages to come back in time for the experience, so that's pretty nice. And yeah, this Centaur, you're up against the Juggernaut, you're just gonna end up feeding a lot. It happens. He has 13 stacks on the Retaliate, so we'll see if he puts a second point in Retaliate and just tries to man fight the Jug next time he spins on him. A lot of bonus damage coming out of the Retaliate. Full creeps, please. The laser onto the Storm and the missile as well. They both have their bottles now. The Storm is the only one with an actual rune, but Tinker will manage to pick up the Arcane rune away from the Storm. So pretty big stuff from the Tinker coming out. We'll be able to spam out of the Storm a bit more. Storm's already level 5 though, and the Tinker's only halfway through level 4. So huge XP advantage already coming out from the Storm. 20-9 against the 12-2 from the Tinker. So already off to a great start. And this is what you do. I love to see as Storms. Just like your lane's pushed in pretty deep. It's pretty dangerous for you. So just go to the jungle, farm up this medium camp. He's coming back though. He's out of mana unfortunately. Queues up another salve. Juggernaut getting half-life, I guess, not too low. Stroke of Fate comes out, the Silence bot comes out, and Juggernaut getting really low, he's gonna go down. The Retaliate popped, but the Centaur Runner plus 92 damage already. Stroke of Fate misses the Jakiro, so Jakiro, he might be able to get away. He has boots already, so he'll be safe. And this Centaur Wall Runner hitting pretty hard. Courier manages to snatch the bounty runes right in front of Grimstroke's face, so there'll be 3 bounty runes going the way of CapOne. So a nice head start for them. Already 1k gold ahead, but this Storm, he's almost level 6. Tinker's managed to catch up an advantage, forcing the Storm Spirit out with this rocket laser spam. He had the arcane rune to make it more efficient as well. Going for a soul ring first. I like this a lot. Keep up the pressure against the Storm. Storm's getting really low. There's a wraparound from the Lion, but the Storm, he's really low. But unfortunately, Tinker, all his spells are on cooldown. They have massive cooldowns without the rearm, and he'll go down. The Storm, he's level 6 now. Gonna use the Shrine and maybe look to make a move. He can go for top lane, get the kill on the Nature's Prophet. Pretty easy kill for him with the Lion to help as well. So yeah, gonna see what this Storm can achieve with this quick level 6. Maybe he can just go back to mid. Jakira is here now. He's got 3 Observer Wards and not really putting any of them down. Storm will head back to mid, so not gonna see that early aggression come out. The level 1 zip isn't really that good, so you need a lot of setup for it. You can't just zip in from long range. You don't have the mana for it early on. Getting a raindrop to help himself against the rockets, and another Blade Fury will take down the Centaur. 9 stacks of Retaliate, so he can fight back next time. The Grimstroke wasn't there to help him out, unfortunately, so we'll go down there. And Centaur, he's pretty poor. He's pretty much the same amount of net worth as the supports actually, so been dying a lot. Unfortunately, Soul Ring done on the Tinker, so less mana problems now. 1 point in the march, so we've seen 3 points in the laser. I'm not a Tinker player myself, but I'm not really sure how to comment on this. Nice dodge on the rocket with the zip. Getting that efficient mana trade. Illusion Rune on the Storm Spirit, probably the worst rune he can have. All the other runes are significantly better on the Storm Spirit, so pretty unfortunate RNG there. Bot lane, the Centaur gets pretty low. The Phantom's Embrace comes out. A spin onto the Grimstroke, gets slowed down by the Juggernaut, and he might go down here. Juggernaut using the Omni Slash, and we'll end up getting both of them. So nice kills from the Juggernaut. Hits this level 6 timing. A kill onto the Lion from in top lane again. So it looks like just caught out of position again. Went for warding, I guess, but gets spotted out by this Observer Ward here.
Tower under fire.
Denied.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
We haven't seen this Storm make any moves yet. He's got boots now, so probably willing to move to other lanes a little bit more now that he can actually move to between lanes a bit faster. And Invis comes out on the Lion, so and there's no Observer Ward to spot this one out. So does Tinker? Does he know? Storm zips in, dodges the laser, and actually all of Tinker's spells are on cooldown still, so this is going to be a really easy kill for the Storm Spirit. They still have another Shrine at bot lane, so Storm Spirit can go back for that and heal up pretty quickly. So a nice start already for this Storm Spirit. 800 gold in front of the Tinker already, so this Tinker might have a pretty rough time this game. We really needed to see him get a pretty nice head start, but just queued up the bots now. He's got the other 2 items, the Soul Ring and the Bottle. You need really all 3 to start making moves. Sometimes we see the Travelers go first. Earth Spike onto the Lich, and a Hex onto the Nature's Prophet will stop the poke damage. The Lich, he's just walking forward. He doesn't have any fear with the Frost Shield. He's got another Frost Blast coming up. It might not be able to get the Lion though. Gets stunned again and just feeds for it. So getting a little bit overconfident there. The Nature's Prophet not able to back him up. He's actually going for a Maelstrom first, which we rarely ever see. I feel like he should go for an Orchid this game, just to help with the Storm Spirit a little bit. But getting the Maelstrom, maybe wanting to farm and push a little bit more by himself. Who's going to make the space from the side of CapOne? The Tinker wants to farm for a really long time. He wants to at least get Ags and Aethelets. If we see him go for that,
Quite a spree.
Centaur getting pretty low. He will go down. The Storm, he gets sprouted up, but there's not much they can do to catch him. He is pretty low on mana though. Only a quarter of his mana pool left. He zips in. The Finger of Death onto the hero. Lion managing to get level 6 before the 10-minute mark, so pretty unexpected from the side of Amazon. The Omni Slash comes out onto the Lion, won't get any bounces onto the Storm Spirit, so pretty lucky RNG over there. But Storm Spirit, he could have just balled out, used the rest of his mana, so I think he would have been okay. Juggernaut dodges the stomp with a Blade Fury, so good stuff from him. Could have been a pretty sticky situation if he got caught by that. So nice dodge coming out of the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut is probably going to be the one to make space, because this Nature's Prophet probably he seems like he's gearing up to just split push all game, which, you know, is part of the hero, but not looking to join fights. Maelstrom doesn't really help him too much with that. If you want to join fights, you got to build something defensive, because Nature's Prophet is not a very squishy, not a very tanky hero. It's a decent amount of armor, especially for an int hero. But you want those phase boots. Probably gonna go for treads now. Medusa getting a solo kill on the Lich. A pretty big kill for her. She's gonna go for a Manta style first to help her farm. Nothing too crazy coming out of her. And already one Finger of Death stack. And Storm looking to go back to the jungle. Wonder what he's gonna go for first. He seems to be a little bit more broke than I would expect. Juggernaut at the top of the net worth, so far ahead, diving the T2 tower with a spin, just doesn't care. Didn't even have Omni Slash up, and they got the tower as well. So 4k gold lead on the side of CapOne already. His Tinker not doing too hot, but his other cores are doing great. Also, the supports and the Centaur on the side of Amazon doing pretty poorly right now. Storm Spirit takes the overload damage, which I haven't really seen, but many people take it. I suppose since they changed the mana regen to not scale with int anymore, probably don't see it as much. There's an arcane room for the Storm Spirit, so we're gonna see if the Storm Spirit wants to go for some aggressive moves. There's a ping out from the Lion, so the Lion, he's ready. He's got Finger of Death in 20 seconds, so won't be able to get the insta kill. The Lich gonna get Hexed, Earthspite, and gonna go down to the Storm Spirit. The Nature's Prophet will TP out. No points in Electric Vortex from the Storm Spirit yet, so no chance to catch them. Grimstroke's up here as well, which is a little bit odd. It's going to be able to farm these treants with the Static Remnant, so it feels pretty good there. Jug used his spin to farm the hard camp, so if they saw that, they could probably follow up on that. Nature's Prophet going to TP bot and just make sure the Centaur can't catch up, because he's pretty far behind. And not looking to get Blink anytime soon, unfortunately. He has level 6 now though, so he can help his team from the other side of the map. He's got to give some space for himself, just hit some creeps for a while, and then help his team out with the Stampedes. We shouldn't see this Centaur looking to fight early on, because it's just... he's too far behind, he doesn't even feel tanky anymore. Jug with a Yasha, so not looking to go for that Battle Fury build to try and match the farm with the Dusa. The Dusa, she hasn't been pressured too hard so far, but actually pretty far behind the Juggernaut. I think most of the kills, most of the net worth from Jug is from the kills he got earlier in lane. Is in last hits. The Jug and the Dusa managing to be around the same in last hits. We're gonna see this Dusa hit creeps for a really long time. Almost has the Yasha done to help her farm faster.
And
we'll see what this Juggernaut wants to go for. He can go for a Diffusal Blade, which will help a lot against the Dusa. Bot lane, a Stampede and Finger of Death come out to kill the Nature's Prophet, so feels pretty bad. Gives another stack to the Lion for the Finger of Death. So the Lion already off to a great start, halfway to his Blink Dagger already, so it might actually get it before the Centaur does. He's got to make space. A haste rune on the Storm Spirit, so we'll see if he looks to make any other aggressive moves. Almost level 12, so probably going to wait for that level 2 zip. Got a Kaya queued up pretty close to it, so this will be a pretty big power spike for the Storm Spirit. Jakiro with a max Liquid Fire build, so trying to look to push towers early on, but with the Nature's Prophet, so they've got a lot of tower push. But I'm not sure if they can get in position for it right now. A lot of drawings coming out on the map, so knowing that Amazon occupying the top lane, Lion will walk into 2 heroes. The Ice Path misses completely. The Bounty Runes are coming up. Haste Rune comes out from the Storm Spirit, jumps onto the Lich, and he'll just die.
Dominating.
And sees the rocket come out from the Tinker. He's out of mana though, so he isn't able to continue to fight. He's got the Kaya now, but he needs to heal up. Gets both Bounty Runes, so we'll be able to get some decent regen from the bottle. The Jakiro goes in pretty deep and will get taken down. Mystic Snake comes out to drain a lot of the mana from the side of Capital One, and it's going to go back to farming. Stone Gaze was used, and DOTA got the kill, so very much worth it for her. Earth Spike onto the Nature's Prophet. There's a Hex Tune as well. The Nature's Prophet just gonna go down to the Storm Spirit. It actually gets killed by the Phantom's Embrace, which we don't see too often. Gets clarity'd up by a Grimstroke, bro. In this Grimstroke, he's level 6 now, so haven't seen any Finger of Death movements from him. But they haven't been grouping up on the side of Capital One. They want to play very separately right now. This Nature's Prophet has global map presence. Tinker with the bots also wants to keep farming up right now. He's going to go for a Yules actually, so kind of afraid of the Phantom's Embrace, I guess. Just if he gets silenced, he's in a lot of trouble. So it makes a bit of sense. But that means he's going to be really far behind in like being relevant in the game. It's going to be a long time before this Tinker gets pretty scary.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Blink is almost done on the line. He's so close now. Gonna get this bot T1 tower. Looks like they're not interested in defending. The push from the side of Capital One is incredible though. The Hero Liquid Fire, the Juggernaut pretty good at it too. Misses another Ice Path unfortunately. The Stampede will be able to get the line out. Zip in from the Storm Spirit. He's gonna go for the Tinker, but the Tinker has an Invis Rune bottled up. The Soulbind onto 2 heroes will end up taking both of them down. But the Tinker takes down 2 heroes with the March of the Machines. Pretty insane damage coming out of the Tinker. The fight's not over yet though. Tinker with another rocket. He's got rearm again, so he can go for it if he wants. But they'll manage to take this T2 tower down, and they get 3 in return for this Lich kill. So very much worth it for the side of Capital One. And yeah, this push is pretty scary. Unfortunately, Nature's Prophet not capitalizing as much as he could. It didn't go top to take this T2 tower. He definitely could have taken out in the time that fight was going on. So maybe wasted his teleportation spell. A little bit unfortunate. Could have made a little bit more happen. Yeah, the Diffusal Blade coming out of the Juggernaut, trying to burn this Deuce's mana, and any hit he can get on the Storm Spirit is a pretty good plus as well. Obviously, the mana loss reduction from the Kaya will help him a little bit. And now Bloodstone got on the way for the Storm Spirit. He's pretty far away from it though, so gonna be some time before he gets that. Yeah, it's only 3k gold behind on the side of Amazon. The farm a lot more balanced on the side of Amazon. They're more closer to the mean. This Juggernaut really far ahead, but the Tinker's struggling a little bit. A smoke will come out. The Centaur gonna get caught out by the rocket and the missile, and he's gonna get slowed by the Diffusal Blade. So the Diffusal Blade reveal on the Juggernaut, gets the Blade Fury, will go down. Is he gonna get the Omni Slash attempt? No, he gets turned to stone, but there's no follow-up damage. Earth Spike comes out. The Nature's Prophet will go down solo to the Storm. The Omni Slash comes out onto the DOTA. The Diffusal Blade doing a lot of work, and the Grimstroke will go down as well to the Juggernaut. Gets slowed by the Diffusal Blade, and he will end up going down. A triple kill for the Juggernaut. This man is so far ahead right now. He's so far. 9k gold, almost 10k gold, 18 minutes in. This Storm, he needs to get a lot of work done for his team. The only one who's strong enough to fight right now, Centaur still doesn't have a blink. He actually just like gave up on the blink completely. Go for a Vanguard. Storm zips forward trying to catch the Tinker, but he's not there. And they're going into Roche. They've got the healing ward, so even though they take this a bit slow, they have the sustain to take it out eventually. See if Nature's Prophet is going to look to help. It has a Blightstone, so that -2 armor, going to help a little bit, but not too much. Is coming in. The scan comes out from the side of Amazon, so they know they're in the Roche pit. They should know that they're taking it pretty slow. They have time to come in and contest if they can. They don't have the Stone Gaze though. They have the Stampede to run in. Storm zips in, tries to steal the Aegis, but the Roche isn't low enough yet. Will end up scaring them off. The Storm zips back in. He's gonna get the Lich. And the Jakiro getting pretty low as well. Manages to get a dual breath on the Storm Spirit, but Storm Spirit will be okay. A bit of a wasted urn coming out on the Grimstroke, so Storm gonna waddle away. TP's out in front of the Bounty Rune, unfortunately. And this Roche, it's really low. He's only got 1k HP left. Looks like Amazon are gonna steal the... Look to go steal the Roche. A Stone Gaze comes out to delay the fight. Jug chasing the Grimstroke on the back line, so Grimstroke gotta go down. Finger of Death won't kill the Jakiro. Grimstroke buys back. The Storm, he's not back yet. He's walking. He's really slow. Used his TP early to get out, and Roche will end up going down to the Jug. So probably gonna sound the retreat on the side of Amazon Prime Courier. The buyback a little bit wasted. Storm zips in with the Ink Swell. The blink from the Lion comes in. Gets the Nature's Prophet very low, isn't able to finish it off. Storm will eventually finish him off. Going for the hero now. Chain Frost comes out onto the Lion and getting the Storm Spirit really low. Gonna be one hit away from dying. Another rocket comes out. Did he hear it? Is he gonna dodge it? He doesn't dodge it in time. The Frost Blast will steal the kill from the Tinker. So a little bit unfortunate for the Storm, wasn't able to dodge everything, and he'll end up going down. He may be forced to buy back here. There's an Aegis on the Juggernaut now. He's so scary. The Healing Ward comes down to help his team sustain the push. Tinker gonna go back for some more mana, and the Nature's Prophet can TP back into the fight as soon as he respawns with that global teleport. A lot of global mobility coming out from the side of Capital One, and they're gonna go for this high ground and get the T3 already. Storm not wanting to buy back, so they might have to give up this lane. I don't know how they're gonna defend this without the Storm. Nature's Prophet comes in now, spawns more Treants, and he's gonna like trip away at this Rax. Atos onto the Lion, a bit of a wasted stampede from the Centaur Warrunner. The stun Macropire onto the Lion, and another Stone Gaze coming out, but no one's facing her. And the Dusa, she just goes down. She stood in the Macropire too long. Storm zips in, is able to take down the Jakiro, gets used up, but the Storm gonna TP out, also takes out the Aegis from the Juggernaut. So the Juggernaut gonna sound the retreat. They do manage to get the range racks. The Cardi going for the melee racks, but isn't able to finish it off. So nice use of the first Aegis. Normally we see the first Aegis only able to take out the tier 3 tower. They can go back for the shrines now. It's gonna make the next Roche fight really hard. Tinker gonna do his civic duty for his team, taking the bounty runes away from the enemy team. So it's gonna be all 4 bounty runes going the way to CapOne. 9k gold advantage. So a nice start. A blink from the Lion, Hex, Earth Spike, and Hex onto the Nature's Prophet. So the Nature's Prophet will go down. Yeah, this Ag's gonna come out on the Tinker, not going for the Aether Lens, which is a little bit uncommon. We normally see the Aether Lens first. He nice switches his mind. He's gonna go back for the Aether Lens, so the Ag's gonna be pretty far away now. But he's got max March of the Machines now, which will help him farm a lot. Once we see this max level missile, it's gonna be pretty scary in the fights. Centaur going for a hood to help himself survive a little bit, also helps him farm faster with the double edge safely, and he's gonna see a blade mail coming out next, so probably gonna just try and run into the Tinker's March of the Machines, and then just reflect the damage back to him. Be that really annoying. Tinker doesn't have a blink dagger, so not gonna feel too much pain. He'll won't have the disadvantage of not being able to blink out thanks to the blade mail. So yeah, a little bit odd. Going for the Eels instead of the blink. Maybe not feeling comfortable with the blink playstyle. Just wants to get something a bit more defensive, so it's easier.
Is under siege.
Can also permanently take someone out of the fight, just like how Brewmaster just tornadoes people. Aggressive blink forward from the Lion, but won't see the Nature's Prophet. Oh, he sees him now. The Atos comes out from the Nature's Prophet onto the Lion. Earth Spike in response. Hex comes out. The Omni Slash onto the solo Lion. So a pretty nice way to absorb the damage. Chain Frost also onto the Storm, but he'll be able to zip out. The Grimstroke, he's pretty screwed though. Will end up feeding his life away. So the 2 supports on the side of Amazon go down. Another missile comes out onto the Storm, but not really gonna do a whole lot. So they're gonna take this tower for pretty much free, not looking to defend it, gonna wait for the high ground defense. But the supports on the side of CapOne, Amazon should be up by then. They're gonna go for this shrine now. Much safer play. And see if he drops a sentry. Storm with a long range zip actually doesn't kill any of the creeps. Actually, he probably killed one wave, but not able to get to the second wave. Doesn't have that level 25 yet. we haven't really felt this DOTA hit too hard. She doesn't have any steroids on her team to help buff her up. Like what you normally see with these DOTA games. She's got an invis, but not going to be able to take out the Nature's Prophet on her own. Storm getting caught out by the Ice Path. Gonna go for the Lich. Stone, Sinister Gaze onto the Lich. A Soulbind onto 2 heroes. We'll see if they're able to make anything with it. Lion has a Finger of Death, but the Soulbind is going to expire before then. The Grimstroke will eventually go down beyond godlike of the Juggernaut. He's owning so hard right now. Gonna go for the Basher next. Has a Manta style finish, so gonna be able to just juke and jive the Lion a little bit. Not gonna help too much actually, so probably not the best item pickup. But only 100 gold away from the Basher. It's gonna be pretty scary once he has that extra avenue of lockdown with the RNG. Gonna go for the Abyssal Blade next for that little bit more reliable, but the Storm's gotta be careful if he jumps in and he just gets Abyssal Blade. Obviously you do have to get the melee range, but Storm wants to fight up close, so gonna be a lot of difficulty for him. And he hasn't been able to find the Tinker. They picked the Storm as a response to the Tinker, but this Tinker's been pretty largely unpunished since the early game. Gonna go back for the Blink now, so the Ag's really far away now, but not feeling like he needs it. Maybe the 2 missiles and the not bouncing laser is it feels like it's enough for him. This Jug is earning so hard that he just makes so much chaos on the front lines. The Tinker will be able to sit back 2 screens away with the 2500 range on the heat-seeking missiles and just spam away. Now bonus mana regen for the Yule's gonna help him out a little bit with his playstyle. Blade Mail coming out from the Centaur, didn't bother to finish his pipe. I don't mind this too much. It's gonna be nice to be able to reflect some of this Tinker damage back at him. But Tinker, he doesn't have Ags yet. We'll see if Centaur is looking to do anything. The Lion will get the solo kill onto the Lich. Nice Yule's Ice Path onto 2 heroes, the DOTA and the Storm Spirit. But the Stone Gaze came out first, unfortunately. Soulbind onto the 2 enemy heroes, and Nature's Prophet and the Jakira gonna go down. Storm's gonna go for more. Electric Vortex onto the Jug, and the Jug getting really low. This is gonna be a huge kill if they're able to get it, and he'll end up going down. Triple kill on the DOTA. A lot of money going her way. Yeah, 1500 gold going her way. Getting pretty close to that Scuddy now, just the point booster away, and it's gonna get really hard for the Jug after DOTA gets the Scuddy. As a melee core, a lot of your strength is running at the enemy heroes, and the Scuddy slows you down even through spell immunity, so Blade Fury not gonna help against the DOTA's Scuddy, unfortunately. So now they just need a way to take out this Tinker. Tinker's been pretty uncontested most fights, but the Storm just hasn't found the right opportunity. He's going for an Orchid, so it should help him take out this Tinker a little bit easier. And the Lion's been putting a lot of work for his team, just finding those good initiations with the early Blink Dagger. Bot lane, Storm Spirit getting an Arcane Rune. This is going to be pretty huge. He's going to be able to just jump the front and the back line and still have mana left over to go for the Jug. That last fight, he burnt a lot of mana early on and was able to continue fighting. 19 charges in the Bloodstone, and he's even got that he's got that Bloodstone passive to tank up a little bit as well. Bloodstone active. DOTA has the Scuddy if she wants to buy it now, so we'll see. Sending the Courier to the secret shop. Yeah, saving for buyback is probably not worth it right now. The Scuddy is going to help so much in the next coming team fights, and makes her tank up so much more. This is a huge mistake. DOTA didn't go for the Mystic Snake Mana Steal talent. This is actually a really huge talent. It goes from 20% Mana Steal to 50%. So you only need to land 2 Mana Steals and the enemy's completely out of mana. Jug, a very mana dependent hero. If he runs out of mana for his Omni Slash, it's huge. So this is a big mistake coming out of the DOTA.
I've been...
Arcane Rune popped by the Storm Spirit. Gonna go for the Nature's Prophet and will eventually go down. Not a whole lot that Nature's Prophet can do by himself. Didn't go for an Orchid, but he's gonna go back for a Hex now. He's pretty far away from him, about 3k gold away, so he's gonna be difficult. Stampede comes out from the Centaur. Ice Path misses. The Storm Spirit is here now. He gets used up, but there's no Ice Path to follow up. The Omni Slash wasted. Actually, will end up getting the Lion, so pretty interesting stuff. Another Ice Path comes out. The Storm Spirit zips right into the Ice Path. The Stone Gaze comes out though, and a lot of damage coming out from the DOTA. Chain Frost onto the DOTA Illusions, and the Storm Spirit will eventually go down to the Chain Frost. The Silence onto the Jug, and he's getting slowed down by the Skadi now. Storm buys back, does a really long range zip in, but will miss the Juggernaut. Juggernaut's out of mana though, so won't be able to TP out. It's going to be a slow death from the Juggernaut. He will eventually go down. Stroke of Fate, and the Storm Spirit gets the kill onto the Juggernaut, so still not really worth it gold-wise for the Storm Spirit, but he's level 23 now. That was a huge kill on the Juggernaut. He is the highest level in the game actually, by quite a bit. And once he gets level 25, it's going to be really hard for the side of Capital One to push into the game. So this is a pretty sick game coming out of both teams so far. A nice back and forth. That early range racks coming out from the CapOne side of CapOne, but haven't been able to make anything happen since. Roche is back up. We'll see which team wants to go for it. Roche, Jug is down for 40 seconds without buyback, so they can definitely go for this Roche, but they probably don't know he doesn't have buyback. Didn't check his items to see he finished his basher recently. Tinker going for a Hex, not even going to go for an Ags anymore. The Storm really looking for him, but Tinker smartly cancels his TP. So good stuff, a good heads up play from the Tinker. And unfortunately, Amazon not able to capitalize on the success of killing the Juggernaut and going for Roche. I think that would have been pretty big, especially because the Storm Spirit just brought back. So getting an Aegis on the Storm would be huge for their team. Storm is one of the best Aegis carriers, but also the fact that he doesn't have buyback is a pretty big deal. He's got an Orchid now. Doesn't see the Tinker, unfortunately, so won't be able to get the kill. Tinker's probably not going to come bot lane for a while now the Storm is here. And this Tinker being a complete nuisance. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet only about 1,000 gold away from the Hex, so closing in on that. The Atos as well to help with the Storm Spirit. So it's kind of like that weird utility offlaner. The Maelstrom was purely for farming, but now he's gone for pure utility items. The Storm Spirit will jump in, gets the Orchid, and it's Nature's Prophet. He showed himself for a brief second, now he's gonna go down. So that's just the game you play against Storm Spirit. Yeah, this Storm Spirit was a really good pick against the Nature's Prophet and the Tinker together. They usually want to play pretty far away from their team, just split the map up, and this Storm Spirit a great pick against both of them. So nice last pick coming out from the side of Amazon Prime. This DOTA, she's getting pretty scary now. Gonna go for a Hurricane Pike next. So looking to get that little bit more mobility. It's gonna be her only defensive item this game. Probably not gonna see her go for a BKB. Just feeling pretty unstoppable right now. And Amazon, they're looking for the Roche. They don't know where the side of Amazon is. This Observer Ward spots out the Storm. Storm is close enough to zip in. Goes for a pretty aggressive zip. He's going to backdoor the T1 tower and he just zips out. There's nothing that they can do. Actually use the Glyph, but the Glyph is going to reset after this tower goes down anyway, so nothing lost there. This Storm is getting scary. He's got a BKB queued up, so once he gets that, it's going to be really hard to take down. There's not going to be much on the side of Capital One to stop him during the BKB. There's this Abyssal Blade from the Juggernaut that's pretty close now, just about 1,000 gold away from the Abyssal Blade. That's really the only thing they can do to stop the Storm Spirit. So as long as the Storm Spirit avoids the Juggernaut or waits for the Abyssal Blade to come out, should be okay. And he's level 25 now. It's going to be so hard for them to push the waves in. This Auto Remnant talent, one of the best talents in the game, I reckon, just gives you so much utility. You can't push in waves anymore. He just Storm, he does the long range zip out and then TP's back home. And we may see a bit of travel come out later in the game. He has 2 ways to TP home after the long range zip. It's just going to be really annoying. Centaur finally going back for the blink. So he's got these 3 defensive items, the Vanguard, the Hood, and the Blade Mail. And I saw earlier the Blade Mail was doing a pretty decent amount of work against the Tinker. Tinker did go for the Spell Lifesteal talent, so Actually, it doesn't even lifesteal that much. It's probably not that worth it, actually. The other one, the movement speed is okay. It helps him run away a little bit, but they've got the Stampede, they've got the Storm Spirit, and the Blink, so maybe thinking that the boost speed not going to be that effective. DOTA has a full Hurricane Pike finished. Didn't save for buyback, but feeling pretty fearless, so doesn't feel that she needs it. And didn't... Oh wait, no, never mind. They moved the mana talent to level 25, so not gonna flame her for that one. But I really think that like these Mystic Snake talents are so much better. The Stone Gaze talent is okay. The Nature's Prophet will just go down again, but manages to snatch the bounty rune before he goes down. So it'll be 3 for 1 bounty runes going the way of CapOne Prime if Tinker goes for this. Looks like he's going to rearm, and he will take it out. But he's in a pretty dangerous position. Will manage to blink out. But he's on the chase now. Defensively Yules up, but the BKB is out on the Storm Spirit, and he's just gonna run out the Tinker. The Tinker's gonna go down. Juggernaut really far away. He's on the back line trying to kill the Grimstrike by himself, but the Grimstrike will Glimmer Cape up. He'll eventually go down to the Jug Illusions. The Grimstrike probably should have ran in the other direction, but a huge kill coming out from the Storm Spirit onto the Tinker. And this Tinker doesn't have buyback. They can go for Roche if they want to. Probably not sure if he has buyback or not, so gonna play it a little bit safe. But I think this is a pretty good opportunity. They should try and force the buyback from the Tinker, because if they can kill him again after he buys back, the game is pretty much over. They didn't see that he bought the Mystic stuff before he died, so DD on the Jug. Do they know that they're in there? There's no scan coming out. The Storm zipping in pretty aggressively, sees the supports in position to take Roche. There's no BKB on the Storm Spirit, so we'll get stunned up by the Arse Path. Unfortunately, the Omni Slash, not enough damage to take out both of them, and the Juggernaut will go down. There's 4 down without buyback. This will be a really easy Roche on the side of Amazon. And another triple kill for the DOTA. This DOTA's huge now, top of the net worth chart. And just, man, did so much damage. 2,300 damage, another 2,000 damage coming out of the Storm, so everyone else just chipping in for that, stun. I ain't gonna go for an Ags now. Yeah, so this dual Glimmer Cape, putting in a decent amount of work so far. Earlier, the Juggernaut was chasing the Grimstrike up this river, but then he just Glimmer Caped and he got out alive. If he were in the other way, he would have been able to dodge, not die, but then he wouldn't have been able to contribute to the fight, so not too bad. This Storm has Aegis now. He has nothing to fear anymore. He can use his entire mana pool on the first life, just deal as much damage as he can, and come back to life with the BKB, and it's going to be really hard to kill. And a full Bloodthorn done on the Storm Spirit, not saving for buyback. It's still on cooldown for 20 seconds, but this Aegis means he doesn't need to save for it. DOTA going for a Butterfly, halfway there already. So good stuff from the DOTA. Feeling pretty unkillable herself, so probably going to pick up the Eagle Song now. Doesn't have buyback anymore, but she's got the cheese as well, so it's going to be really hard to take her out. And the side of CapOne, they just don't do enough damage anymore. Tinker is pretty much just feeling like a bit of a liability right now. Just unable to contribute. The Storm just BKBs and jumps on top of him, and there's nothing they can do. Tinker won't be able to defend himself. Maybe gonna see if he wants to go for his own BKB. Gonna get the Hex in about 2,000 gold. So still pretty far away. And he needs to save for buyback. If the Storm just zips onto him... Oh, and the Storm has a regen room now. This is going to get so scary from the side of CapOne. Thistle Blade done on the Juggernaut, so we'll have that option to stun the Storm Spirit during the BKB. Blink forward by the Lion. We'll get the Earth Spike off and into the Hex, and the Courier gonna go down. BKB comes out from the Storm Spirit. He's just going to jump onto the Nature's Prophet. Tinker, can he go for the Tinker as well? He's going to go for the Tinker, and there's 4 down on the side of CapOne. They just dive the T3, still with the T2 up. Another triple kill for the DOTA. Huge damage coming out of her. Storm also dealing his fair share of damage, more than the DOTA. And yeah, CapOne, they're in a lot of trouble right now. Fortunately, won't be able to go for more racks as the T1 tower still up at top. Actually, the T2 tower at bot still up. Storm Spirit going for the Juggernaut on himself. He's got the Bloodthorn, so this should be a pretty easy kill. Finger of Death comes out with the Bloodthorn crit, doing so much damage. And the Jug will go down. Doesn't have buyback. They're just gonna go for the throne. Only Nature's Prophet has buyback. Jakira and Lich up soon, but there's nothing they can do. The full squad of Amazon Deep Dive, Amazon Prime Courier are still up. And yeah, this game looking pretty over.
Middle tower has fallen.
Nice decisive play too, going straight for the throne instead of going back for the other towers. T1, T2 still up, so not really worth it. And the Tinker still down for 12 seconds. Jug, if he has buyback, he would have bought back by now. They probably know the Jug doesn't have buyback either. Yep. DOTA just gonna chip away at the throne, only one focus on the objectives, and game's over. GG. And, nice turnaround from the side of Amazon. They kind of got bullied in the lane a little bit too much. The Jug off to an amazing start, was like really far ahead in the net worth. Actually, didn't feel as far ahead as I thought they were. They got a 12k gold advantage. This was probably around the point that they took the range racks, and then it all just fell apart. DOTA did so much damage. The Storm as well, putting in his work, counterpicking 2 of the 3 cores on the side of CapOne. So pretty easy Storm game. Not much to contest, so nice last pick coming out of Amazon Prime Courier. 39,000 damage from the Storm Spirit, absolutely obscene. And the Lion, the Grimstroke, and the Centaur enjoying that easy carry.